all things being equal, there are a lot of people who teach what I teach in similar ways or maybe in their own way. People decide who they're going to work with because they resonate with the story around it. It's almost intangible. Example, is Taylor Swift that much different than Katy Perry? No, but both have diehard fans and they just say, I like that person better. I resonate with her better. If everything was based on how high of a quality person you were skill-wise, that would mean Michael Jordan would be everyone's favorite basketball player. But he's not everyone's favorite player. Right. They'll say, I don't like his attitude. There's just something I don't like about him.
Michael Jordan, who had a tremendous ego.
Huge. Michael, game on the line, who would take the last shot?
Me. That's a dumb question. Me.
If we knew what Jordan was doing when he was doing it, I don't know that he'd be loved like he is.
There are a ton of people who like players who weren't as accomplished. When I look at that from a marketing standpoint, I'm like, that's fascinating because it's not just I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Right? Like you said, the resume, I did this. A lot of times I found in my career, I wasn't selling just my expertise. All things being equal, expertise being equal across the board with all the candidates, it was a feeling that I was selling. They wanted to know I could be trusted. They felt at peace. They felt hope. They felt like potential. They felt forward movement. This company didn't rehire me just because of my accomplishments. There was a sense of familiarity and calm. We know what he did when he was here. It's gonna feel good to have him lead us through a transition in the next 6 months. You can't just be nuts and bolts and analytical. It's gotta have that story, and stories evoke feeling.
When you tell the story and you combine that with your career, the results that you deliver, that's also going to allow you to negotiate for more. And so this is where ultimately, when we think about your career capital, your education, your experience and results, like be able to document that in a way that's not just telling what you did, but also the so what. Then you need to make sure that you have the lessons learned, you have those key stories, and package that together. But I'll tell you, one of the most compelling stories that I always tell, an intern that came in and applied for a role when I was working at Splunk. I get the resume, so my team was putting together a list of interns, and this was the final interviews. They interviewed with myself, senior director of the department, to choose 3 interviews. I think we had something like 300 applicants. It was crazy. My project manager puts on my desk this particular gentleman's resume, and what he had done is he was the president of his fraternity. And so like you, I spun it around. I said, Kelly, I don't think that this is gonna work out. No, we're not gonna hire this guy. She looked me in the eye and she goes, trust me, I always trusted my team. You're gonna wanna talk to him. I said, okay, I trust my team. I'm gonna take the interview. So in comes this gentleman, we'll call him Josiah. So Josiah sits down across from me. I just started digging. I say right away, I could say, look, I've seen this on the resume. I don't even understand why you're here. Like seriously, like president of fraternity. And he says, let me tell you why. I go, okay. He goes, in my role, just like in what I applied for, you're gonna need somebody who can understand complex and chaotic situations quickly. When I have to manage this house, sometimes if we have, parties or things get out of control, I'm gonna be the responsible one. I actually have legal responsibility that I'm responsible for. I have different liabilities. I have to make sure the rent is paid. I am somebody who can step into these situations, make order out of chaos very quickly. And that's really how he kicked it off. And that was like a key opener. It was a light bulb moment. And then what he did systematically is he had taken down the results that we were looking for, and he tied it to experience that he had in managing a fraternity house. He had to run spreadsheet to manage the rent and the profit and loss statement, which is we needed somebody to run the finances of the projects. He also then had to go and stand before different review boards where he was with, senior leaders of the fraternity council, and there was also some members of the administration there, the school administration there, and present if things went sideways. He walked down step by step. At that point, I walked out of the interview, I'm like, we gotta hire this guy. Here's the end of that story, is that guy then interned with us for 2 summers. Then he took on an entry-level role after that, became a big part of the team. And I can just say that anonymity, that he worked for that company for 6 years, and he had just came out of high school, and he walked away with probably a high 6 figures in equity, in addition to his salary. All came from the fact that he came in there and he told a compelling story that also mapped his results to the job description.
Personal branding, the way I teach it, is something that's been around way longer than people realize. That language has kind of seeped into corporate culture now. My background was in entrepreneurship, building a personal brand around your expertise, your ideas, your reputation. And yet, when I look back on my journey, I was the chief marketing officer of the company. And I think I understood some of these concepts before I really distilled them, right? Because branding, it just meant your reputation at work. Like, are you lazy? Are you a go-getter? Are you good with communication? Are you a bull in a china shop, right? And so when I hear about personal branding at work, I think it's so important to get ahead in my company.